welcome to another edition of Geek Culture Unboxed. We have Epic in the house, Prime 1 Studios, 1/3 scale, I believe. Balrog, not sure. I might be off on that. I am Lou.
John.
Man, we're excited to get into this. First, we're going to take it down just a little bit. We're going to highlight our disappointments. This is an epic piece. No doubt about it. Couple of things you saw in the 360. The whip doesn't light up. I bought this because I thought the whip light up. We get it in studio. Maybe we didn't connect it right. Maybe the connector's bad. Our whip didn't light up. Good thing I have another one on the way. What was the other thing? The tips of the wings, the fire on the wings, those don't light up. That's another miss. And then attention to detail, Prime 1, Gandalf's staff doesn't light up. Everybody remembers from the Lord of the Rings when he's fighting that, the tip of his staff lights up as he says, "You shall not pass." So minor little things. Diego says it's a 9. I'm willing to concur with that. The light effect is amazing. Diego wishes that the mouth flickered just like the back. I've collected Balrog pieces for a long time. I don't have the life-size head. I didn't buy that one, but I have the NECA piece. I've had the Gentle Giant pieces. This is the piece. If you are a Lord of the Rings fan, this is the piece, but the drawback to it is...
it's pretty damn big. That's all I got to tell you. If you don't have space for this, don't even attempt it.
32 inches long. Where's the measuring tape? It's behind you? Oh well. 32 inches long. It's over there.
Like that to that.
Yeah, 32 inches long. I know that because we have a case here. We were thinking about putting it in. It is about 15 inches wide. And then, man, it's got to be 29 to 30 inches tall. Sorry, the measuring tape's out of frame. We're not going to go ahead and reach for it. But aside from that, epic piece. I hope you have some space in your house for it, in your collection. You don't want to miss this piece. And I think they're already sold out because I bought this from a collector that had to offload it. He had it and he's like, "Lou, do you want it?" I was like, "Yeah, I've got one on order, but I need to review it." So
a lot of detail, highly detailed, very much. That caught me off guard. And I was even noticing right here, when I'll turn it in a second, I didn't even notice this.
What, the writing?
No, there's like a hole, like a damage hole, like where they, right here. I didn't even notice that when we were putting it together. That's pretty neat.
I like all the fine detail, the elfish or the dwarfish language down here.
The swords, the weaponry and everything.
Diego loves the weapons and the skulls and the bone. The fact that they didn't just wash completely over with this, like an orangey?
Like an orangey
that the weapons actually stand out.
They hit the highlights on the reliefs of the dwarfs here, on the upper parts, all over here. The stone here. This is the good part about it. They actually cared about what they were doing and thought it through because they knew the light would reflect it good and well enough and what's the word I'm looking for? It would work well with it. They did a really good job with it. I'm really impressed with that part of it.
And Gandalf looks like Gandalf. You know, there's some figures out there that are so. Iron Studios is doing a bang-up job with their sculptures, but man, Gandalf was one of the first things I pulled out, and I was like, that looks like Gandalf. So very good. Prime 1 Studio. Only thing about Gandalf, he's a little bit wobbly, but as long as he's on a...
It's not a lot, but if you're not going to mess with it, don't worry about it. I mean, it's there for a reason.
No AC/DC adapter. That is a plus. Some of the other statues we review, you have to plug it in. 3 AA batteries.
They're right up here underneath this like dome of fire.
Mm-hmm. And the button to turn it on is actually right here. Boom. Boom.
The wings, the texture, very leathery. His body, very leathery kind of. I was telling them in the little creases of the wings, it catches the light good. That's another thing. If you haven't seen this on the 360, did it in the dark version, that's where you see it come to full life. You'll think you're there when he's fighting him. That's all I can tell you. Very good. The light flickers. They catch highlights here and there. It's just enough. The silver on the weaponry and the axe, and it gleams off it. Very good job. These are the pluses of this. I mean, I don't know. It's just, for me personally, this is a gigantic statue. But it's epic. If you're eye-catching attention, this is it right here. This is it.
I've been laughing at Diego and John the whole time we were setting this up. They're like, it's too big. It's too big. I'm like, it's perfect.
This is probably one of the biggest bases I've ever seen on a statue.
It's heavy as hell.
And I mean, well, it's needed to keep his weight and keep him in place. And his body is pretty heavy. It's not light. And it's just, it works well together. It's just massive. That is the deal. It is massive.
You know, unfortunately, I have the NECA Balrog, which is big. I'm going to say the NECA is a fraction bigger than this, right? The NECA's wings are wider and the body is a little bit bigger. I wanted to do a side-by-side. Unfortunately, it's in storage, so you geeks and guys are going to have to wait until we actually have this on display, and we'll have them both side-by-side, and it'll look, whoo.
But this one's more, I was telling you, more dynamic. The pose is more dynamic, and he looks like he's engaging Gandalf here. I mean, it's very, I can't even put the words into place. It's just, it's more engaging of a sculpture versus the NECA one, I think.
You know, I'm looking at the back here, and I don't want to get off topic too quick, but really quick, I'm going to put in a request. I would like to see Prime One Studios do a Lord of Darkness from Legend. Just looking at his hooves and his legs.
On the throne or standing?
No, standing. But nobody's ever given us the pose from the CD cover. Everybody always messes that up. I'm asking you, Prime One, please give us a Lord of Darkness.
With light up eyes.
Yes, yes. But back to the Lord of the Rings. This is epic. I can't wait to show this to you geeks in person. I can't wait for you to see it.
Just so you see, this is my hand. Look at the size of this, just this to my hand. That's just his body. Then imagine all of this. Look at where if you can see where I'm standing. Look at how gigantic all of this is compared to me.
That's at least 3 inches thick. At least. The bridge.
And all the way, every, each the side, everything. It's just... The helmet here, everything, man. They did a really good job on the little details, which are great. I mean, the carving parts and the line here in the stone, his tail, the texture. I don't know if you can see it clearly, but where the red, like the lava-ish color is in between, even right here on the legs, on the wings part, everything. I mean, somebody was painstakingly painting this. That's all I got to tell you.
That's from Prime One. Prime One isn't always out of the park. They got a 90%, hit it out of the park ratio, but it's getting better. Keep working on it. I want 99%.
Y'all give it a 9. I'd give it a 9.7. I will. But the only thing was the whip. Yep. And these, like they said, if these lit up too, easily 9, 9, 10 right there. It'd be right there.
They're just magnetic. There's nothing that allows it to light up, and that's a miss. Those should light up because the lighting is just beautiful, especially that sword. You've seen a couple pictures I posted on Instagram already.
Look at that.
Yeah. We're going to post 4 more pictures that John took with his camera. What is that camera again? The
Sony. Oh, God. It's an old camera.
It's an old camera, but the pictures look amazing. Wait till I post it.
Oh, man. I mean, the texture on his body. It's... wow. They did a really, really good job on that. And like I said, you can see all the little stuff where he's stepping over. I was telling him the paint, like we were talking about that color, it complements it very well with the light. And with the light off, it really looks like there's a flame going in his body or all over the place. Man, I mean...
If it wasn't so big, you'd own one.
Dude, if this was like a quarter scale, that probably would be... And it did all this stuff? Yeah. But this size? Oh, no. No. And this is the one thing that we were kind of discussing. It's just so awkward the way this just jets out. And, if you walked around, you might bump it or hit it. That's the problem I'd have with it. If this wasn't here, it would be kind of like more taller, I guess, looking than longer. But it just... I don't know. I guess it would lose the effect too. That's the only thing I can tell you. It just, I don't know. I really think they thought it through. The only thing was the lights. That is the only killer. The light on the wings.
And geeks, I tried to convince Diego to put this in the studio right here where Rodimus is. He's kind of leaning towards no, but I'll see if I can keep working on him. I just think it'd be amazing. Somebody walks into the studio and you just see that lit up. That's just... Man, that is just beautiful.
Another thing too, I don't know if y'all can see this, but where the wings are attached, it looks like it was done intentionally, like that little gap right there. It's not spacing. It's like that's how it fits onto his body. It fits right. So like I said, somebody was paying attention when they designed this. It fits just right. That's like I said, we've seen a lot of these. That means somebody gave a damn when they were doing it. That's how I see it. They cared about what they were doing. They actually thought it through and were like, yeah, that will make sense. Even the switch and everything hidden underneath this, that's a good feature.
Well, it's not even underneath. It's just right there on the side.
Well, no, I'm saying like the battery, all that, it's hidden.
Oh, hidden underneath.
You can't tell. You would just think this is, you wouldn't know that unless we told you it, or unless you own one.
We'll take it off and show it to them what we're talking about.
See? This is up here. This comes off and the batteries are in there.
That was another flaw right there. Just getting it off.
Yeah. Oh, man. That strong magnets. Insanely strong magnets.
And think about it. This is working with gravity. It's still super strong. There is no way, unless you're like bench pressing 250, that you're going to just easily pop that off. No way.
Whoa.
We had to use a chopstick to get it off gently, so we didn't want to break it or none of that stuff. But it was just such a tight grip. I don't know if that's from pack or when they shipped it, but it was just super tight. Once we got it out, we put the batteries in. It was real simple. It goes back on and closes the magnet, and then this goes like on top, like Liz just did. But it's good planning the way they did it. It hides it well in a clever way. That's what I liked about it. And you can't tell that it's just there, like it's out. It's not awkward looking. It looks like it's part of the body. So they did a good job, really good job.
Looks best in the dark. You geeks saw the 360. Again, thank you for joining us for another episode of Geek Culture Out of the Box, Prime One Studio.
Very good job, very good job.
Amazing. We'll see you geeks next time.